Hey guys, today we're talking about probably the best putting game that there is on the planet. It's called Stymies.
This is the Golf Essentials Podcast with Casey Borg.
So one of my old college teammates reached out to me after the gambling session that I published yesterday, and he reminded me of some big money putting matches that we had in college, and I thought I'd share. Not so much because of the gambling thing, but mostly because it's a really fun game if you've got a bunch of people hanging out and want to have a serious putting competition. It's called Stymies, and what we did in college was pretty ridiculous. If we had like 10 guys on our team out there putting and practicing at once, and so we'd all get together and somebody would pick the hole, and normally the holes would be anywhere from like 20 to 40 feet. So decent length putts. And it was really important to establish the order of play. So the guy who went last was in a much tougher spot than the guy that went first. So basically how the game is played is total strokes, but you get a stroke penalty if you hit somebody else's ball. So if you're putting and you hit another person's ball, it's a stroke penalty. If you hit two people's balls, if it ricochets and hits two, it's two shots. So the idea is the one who is leading would go first. So it's the same as a regular round of golf. You use the honor system. So you'd flip a tee, figure out who goes first. And as you can imagine, the first guy would hit, he's got clear sailing. And then the people that follow will have to deal with the balls that are in the way. So if somebody hits it up there and is 2 feet short of the hole, now everybody else has to sort of sidestep that. And what we did in college, in these games, we played $1 a point. So for every shot that you hit, every putt that you hit was effectively worth $9 because, one stroke would be a point for every, one extra point would be $1 to everybody. And so it could get really expensive if you were, towards the bottom of that stack. And so basically how the game is played, we pick a hole and everybody putts. And after the first round of putts, so everybody's out there and you figure, okay, maybe somebody hit somebody else's ball, so they lie 2, or everybody else is lying 1. But what is really, really important is that the person who's farthest away from the hole always has to go first. So what happens is somebody that maybe left it 8 feet short has got to try to wiggle his way and maybe he's got a clear line, he can make the putt, but maybe not. So he's going to maybe sort of concede that he can't make the putt. There's a ball in the hole, in the way. So he's got to go to the side and he might try to stymie somebody else. And what happens is, especially if you've got a bunch of poor putters, the guys on the team, my college team, were pretty good golfers, but if you've got people that aren't as accurate, right? You've got a cluster of balls around the hole, especially if you've got a lot of people playing. This game is best if you've got a bunch of people. And there's a cluster of balls around the hole, and every now and then somebody will leave one right on the edge and just interfere with everybody. And you have to be real careful. You got to keep track of how many shots everybody's hit, but it is an awful lot of fun. And it can take a while, to weed through all that. And even the little 1-foot tap-ins, you always have to let the person who's farthest away go first, because there might be some interesting little tap-ins that you've got to make where the hole is partially covered. So I think that's a really fun game. It is more on the fun side than the practicing side, but I can tell you, you do need to work hard on your direction and distance control. It's much harder than you think to leave your ball right next to the hole, stymieing another golfer's ball. So it does get you focused, and if you have a little wager on the side, it certainly keeps you interested. Hope you enjoy that one, guys.